Hello everybody, this is Kiyoshi here and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be reviewing the Diamond Select Toy, The Lord of the Rings, the Sauron Build-A-Figure. So without further ado, let's get started. So we have completed all 3 waves, 6 figures from the Diamond Select Toy, Lord of the Rings Deluxe Action Figure line. And now we finally formed or completed our Build-A-Figure Sauron. Hands down, this is one of the best Build-A-Figures I've ever built over the years. I have bought a lot of Build-A-Figures. If there's a Build-A-Figure in a toy line in a series, I normally would buy it because that's just the way I am. I think getting a prize figure I call it the prize figure. It's amazing. It's a really nice feeling. Plus this figure, wow, it wows me. There are some gripes about the Sauron figure. It is about 13 inches tall. It hinders a lot of articulations because the material it's used, it's heavily armored. It cannot do a lot of dynamic poses or do anything crazy, like crazy poses. You can barely lift the hand a little bit and lift the legs a little bit or bend the legs a little bit because they're, once again, they're very stiff. And also the joints are stiff and all the articulations are hindered by all the armor pieces around it. I think for this particular Sauron figure, it's more like a statue with limited articulations. It's good for display the way it is in a still pose, and I think this is the way I'm going to display anyway. And I wouldn't play too much with it because it is fragile. It is made with some fragile materials and some pieces are more loose, like the armor pieces from the shoulders. These are removable, and if you play around it, it's very easy to just drop it, so. And also the head, these horns on the head are very fragile, very thin layered, and the materials, it's very thin as well. So if it fell on the floor or somehow you're battling it in your hands and then you just touched it or a little force towards it and then it might just break. So all those things, and building this figure took like almost a year. And also with 6 figures, I really want to treasure this figure. And also I don't know when is the next time we're gonna see a Sauron Build-A-Figure or a figure like this, like a 13-inch figure from Sauron, of Sauron. So I really want to treasure this figure. I will take a good care of this figure and treat it just like one of those hot toys. You know what I mean? It is really big, like 13 inches tall. Let me do a size comparison. This is the orc figure from the wave. Look at it. He's barely the size of his legs. And here we have Aragorn. Aragorn is just to his waist. Aragorn is very tall, it's just to his waistline right here. And then next, let's do the Gilgamesh from Marvel Legends, which is barely the size of his legs. Like this figure is huge. And also because if the figure is huge, in the legs, they're not big. They're proportioned legs. I mean, not legs, the feet. So it does have some trouble standing. If you're trying to stand it, it will have some problems. So I highly recommend you guys use some kind of stance or base. I'm using one of those DC multiverse base. Those will work, or you can also get those very cheaply made base. Those clear base you can buy online for like $10 for 50 pieces, that kind. I really highly recommend you guys use that. That will help you help the figure to stand and also last longer without any damages by falling down. And what else I can talk about this figure? I really like the idea that there's a cloth piece for the ropes, not the ropes, for the ropes. I do hope there was bendy wires in it. However, this figure does not have any bendy wires on the ropes, but it would be very nice, the capes, I'm sorry. It would be very nice if the cape has some bendy wires, but it's cool. And also the paint apps, although this thing is all metallic gray, silverish gray, there's silver gray, just metallic paint all over it. It does not shy away from any spectacular paint app. There's shadings. It's just amazing. All these paint apps. I love this figure. The paint apps is absolutely amazing. And then I think it's spot on to the proportion to how he looks in the movies. That's another thing I really like about this figure. Yeah, so that's basically all the things. And here's the weapon. I'm not planning to display it with the weapon, but this weapon does come with the orc figure. Yeah, so what else I can say about this figure? I'm sorry, this review will not be based on articulations. Like I said, I really don't want to play too much with it. This figure does have some very tough articulation pose abilities, so that's the biggest gripe. If you guys are looking for action figures that you can play in your hands, this is not the figure. This is more like I mentioned, it's like a statue. You know, it's for displaying it on your shelves or on your displaying cases, just for something beautiful. And it's I would treat it like hot toys. You know, treat it with really good care. Yeah, what else I can do with this figure? I really hope. Let me zoom in a little closer. You know, this figure is huge, but let me do here, show you guys how the head looks amazing. This is what I'm talking about. These horns are very fragile, so be careful. And this piece is removable. And for those of you who do custom figures, maybe you guys can, I mean, not just custom makers, but you guys can super glue it if you guys want to make it just stay there, you know. But if you super glued it, it will hinder the articulation on the arms and the shoulders even further. So it's up to you. You know, you'll make it loose, then you can have little room for the articulations. But if you don't want to do any dynamic or articulations to the arms, then you guys can super glue it. And there is articulation on the waist. There's no, ab crunch. There's ab crunch, but there's no waist swivels because of all these armor pieces here. I do wish they come with interchangeable hands. I think on the promo images, they do have those interchangeable hands. However, not with this final release, which is unfortunate, but it's cool. And the rest of the figure is just the legs. The legs looks amazing, you know. And again, the legs are very stiff. I do prefer the stiffness in this case. You know, it's very, very stiff, just like those Wave 1 figures. But in this particular figure, I do prefer it because it is a very huge figure and not heavy. It's okay heavy. It's not as heavy as how it looks. But, you know, for a longer standing point of review, the stiffness on the joints will definitely make this figure last longer on your shelves while standing, you know. Yeah, the feet is tiny, as you can see. They did really well with the proportions. They did not, you know, just because the figure is big, they did not make the feet huge just for it to balance or to stand up. So, which is cool. Yeah, once again, this is an amazing figure. You know, if you are a Lord of the Rings fan, definitely this is the ultimate figure you want to get for this line. I don't know if Diamond Select Toys will continue making more Lord of the Rings figures from future waves. I mean, there's a wave 4, of course, with Gandalf and the other guy. But besides wave 4, I don't know if they're going to make another Build-A-Figure series. I really hope they will, because this series is amazing. You know, of course, the gripes is definitely the articulation, but the paint apps, it's amazing. I think having these figures in your shelf just for displaying, you know, not playing with it, but just for displaying, it's awesome. And I would love to see more waves, more series, or more action figures from this line, from the Lord of the Rings line. There's a lot of characters they can make. You know, they can make all of the rest of the 7 dwarfs. Bilbo Baggins, you know, there's a lot of characters they can make, and I also wonder what would be the Build-A-Figure if they are making another Build-A-Figure wave. It can be that dragon, you know, from the Hobbit movie. Yeah, there's a lot of options, you know, or one of those elves, you know, those king elves. I forgot the name of that guy. Those very huge, or those huge characters. Yeah, I just think there's a lot of possibilities they can do with future waves if they are doing it, and I'm hoping they're doing it. I definitely will collect all of these and share with you guys on this video, on this channel. So yeah, so here is my review of the Sauron Build-A-Figure from the Diamond Select Toys, the Lord of the Rings Deluxe Action Figure line. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye.